In the beginning, God gave mankind and all creatures a plant-based diet. In Genesis 1:29 it says, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in thee which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. This reveals God's perfect will. Man and beast alike, sustained by the fruits and the plants of the earth. No bloodshed, no disease, no corruption. Just harmony, health, and life. Sin had not yet entered the world, and therefore there was no death. After the flood in Genesis 9:3 and 4, God permitted Noah and his descendants to eat animals, but only those he deemed acceptable. The distinction between clean and unclean already existed, for God commanded Noah to take 7 pairs of clean animals and only 2 of the unclean. Later in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, God spelled out the categories clearly. Clean animals, those with split hooves that chew the cud, fish with fins and scales, and certain birds and insects. Unclean animals, pigs, shellfish, predators, scavengers, and other creatures designed to cleanse the earth, not to nourish mankind. Thus, though meat was allowed, God maintained boundaries to protect health and holiness. The unclean creatures serve vital ecological purposes. They are scavengers, waste processors, and disease controllers. When consumed, the toxins and pathogens they harbor transfer to humans. Pigs carry parasites and bacteria, retain toxins linked to liver disease, cancer, and autoimmune conditions. Shellfish, they filter sewage and toxins, frequently cause food poisoning, and they carry heavy metals. Predatory and scavenger birds, they spread pathogens feeding on carrion. Other unclean species often carry all sorts of parasites and bacteria that harm human health. In contrast, though not optimal, clean animals are generally safer, digestible, and free from such heavy toxic loads. Today, the world consumes enormous amounts of pork, shellfish, and processed meats. These very foods are associated with heart disease, cancer, especially digestive cancers, foodborne illnesses, autoimmune and inflammatory diseases. The rise of worldwide health issues corresponds with man's departure from God's dietary design by eating what God called unclean. Humanity burdens itself with sickness, weakened immunity, and shortened lifespans. God's commands about food are not arbitrary rituals. They are expressions of His wisdom and love. His first plan, plants for food, was the healthiest. His later distinction between clean and unclean were protective measures for fallen humanity. To ignore them is to despise His order and to invite harm upon ourselves. God declared through Moses, "See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil." His dietary instructions are a part of that choice. When we obey, we receive life and health. When we disobey, we inherit disease and death. The prophet reminds us, "Be ye holy, for I am holy." Holiness is not only spiritual but practical, extending to what we put into our bodies. And Paul exhorts us, "Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all for the glory of God." Ultimately, returning to God's order, first in Eden, then in His laws, restores both body and spirit. As He promised Israel, "I am the Lord that healeth thee." To walk in His ways is to walk in health, blessing, and life.